mean, it can't be Quarterback Monday unless we're talking about quarterbacks, right? Well, I'm in Seattle, and I have a little bit of a story to share with you. Good morning to you. Good Monday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Steelers. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into hockey and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Penguins and Pirates in the same place that you found this. I'm up here in the Pacific Northwest covering Pirates versus Mariners. Don't ask how that went, but go right ahead and ask some of the more interesting fans that I ran into here. Because as is the case with most expats, they don't just follow one of our teams, they follow all three. And these fans couldn't help but be reminded that the last time the football team happened to be in this lovely city, that there was one heck of a performance put on by the quarterback wearing black and gold. If you've forgotten what that New Year's Eve was like here, Mason Rudolph completed 18 of 20 passes. Now, it was for only 152 yards. There was a touchdown in there, but there also was that unforgettable hanging in the pocket and throwing to George Pickens and the incredible leap or lunge or whatever you'd want to call it that resulted in George getting that ball somehow. And I'm not going to lie, I had another subject lined up for this particular episode, and I just decided to throw in a friendly reminder that Mason still exists, and Mason is still, not to get glib on you here, likely to have a significant impact this coming season. Why? I mean, do I have to say it out loud? Your starting quarterback's 41 years old. He's going to turn 42 in December. He just missed the entire 2023 season, or almost all of it, with the other Jets due to injury, that being the Achilles, of course. And then in the 2024 season, he didn't miss a start. He was in all 17. But if you read the accounts of the beat writers cover that team, he had all kinds of stuff he was playing through that, to his credit, he was toughing out. He was resisting being benched. So there were still things that were happening, arguably things that could have, maybe even should have, had him standing on the sideline rather than playing. If that occurs again, you're still going to need old number two. And within that, maybe it's worth a little bit of bonus appreciation here for Mason and really the way he's carried himself throughout his career, to know, for the coaches to know, for his teammates to know, for you to know, that if and when that number two gets called, he's not only going to be ready, he'll have done all the requisite studying with Arthur Smith and film work, and I have no doubt communicating and learning from Rodgers himself, judging by watching those two interact at minicamp. But even better than all of that is that all of us saw what happened here in Seattle. All of us saw the way that season finished. All of us saw why, when Omar Khan knew he needed to get a quarterback who could be his starter in the event that Rodgers wouldn't, he called Mason and told Mason precisely that. There's something to be said for that. There's something to be said for a quarterback room, I feel, at least in the moment, it has a really strong chance of being friction-free. Yes, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields got along. They really did. It wasn't an act. It wasn't for show. It was easy to detect, actually. But there was something in play there. There was Russ pushing buttons here or there. There was the knowledge that Arthur would rather have had Fields and that the head coach wanted the other guy. Well, in this case, nobody's back from that group. Nobody. There are not two. There are four completely new quarterbacks in this room. If you're also including, obviously, Will Howard and Skylar Thompson. And as I've said many times, the moment Rodgers walks onto that campus, he's the starter. That's not something that's open to conversation or debate. But they know that too. All of the quarterbacks know that too. Mason knows it, but he's also known it. He knew it. He was told this because Omar dealt completely above the table with him the entire time. He knew the role he was going to have in Pittsburgh. if the Steelers got the quarterback that the head coach wanted. Well, they got him, but they also got the other guy. And if you think an episode like this doesn't matter today, just remember it for the day that it'll actually matter. When we come back, J1Q. Luxenberg, Garbett, Kelly & George is a personal injury law firm in Western Pennsylvania that represents injured people in automobile accidents, workers' compensation cases, and medical malpractice claims. The attorneys at Luxenberg, Garbett, Kelly & George pride themselves in doing what they say they're going to do. It's important to them that when they make you a promise, they keep that promise. And this law firm has been keeping promises for over 80 years. Luxenberg, Garbett, Kelly & George has been AV rated. That's the highest rating a law firm can receive for legal ability and ethics. And the lawyers at the firm have been designated super lawyers, that's a real thing, for over 15 years. Rare combination there. Luxenberg, Garbett, Kelly & George has offices in Cranberry, Newcastle, Beaver Falls, Butler, and Elwood City. Learn more about them at lgkg.com or by calling 888-842-5454. Again, that's 888-842-5454. Today's J1Q comes from T Mac, who says, DK, does Minkah Fitzpatrick's resume with the Steelers warrant being in their Hall of Honor? I think so. Some of his stats, a 5-time Pro Bowl guy, 3-time first-team All-Pro, 18 interceptions, 4 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown, 3 pick sixes. Listen, I'm just going to cut you off here, my man. This is easy. The answer is just a screaming hell yes. There's a blocked extra point in there, several years functioning as one of the team captains, everything else that he did. Listen, this isn't one of those, I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep pounding this issue because Minkah was not the player over the past couple of years that he'd been from 2019 to 2022. We can go back and forth from now to the end of time as to whether or not that was his fault, the coach's fault, the scheme's fault, the rest of the secondary's fault, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Football careers, NFL careers are so short, and the time that you have on the field is so precious. You have to make an impact when you're out there. He made one massive impact in Pittsburgh, on top of being the consummate professional, a class act, and everything else. No one anywhere should be attempting to kick Minkah on the way out. It makes no sense, and it doesn't line up with the facts. It is possible for a team to trade value for value. My belief, actually, no, my hope is that that's what happens here. I hope Minkah finds his old form in Miami. I really do. I hope Minkah goes down there and they put him in a position that's closer to the line of scrimmage, and he puts together picks galore, and he's running them in, and everyone here is going on, whatever else. It really shouldn't matter. It's not about winning trades. I say this all the time. It's about winning games. And if Jonnu Smith and Jalen Ramsey help the Steelers win games, in particular because they're at positions that were of need, then awesome, great. Doesn't matter what Minkah does. Minkah was a legitimately great player in the NFL who had a couple of blah seasons. Should he be in the Steelers Hall of Honor? If you look at the remainder of the hall, you look at the criteria, you look at the qualifications, again, my answer is a bright neon red glowing from the top of Mount Washington, yes. Minkah wasn't just a great player here. He was a great Steeler here, a great AFC North competitor, a great everything. Nothing wrong with celebrating that, even as he goes elsewhere. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Steelers. Don't forget, we've got a double shot of Steelers coming today at 4 p.m. on our YouTube channel and on our app and website, DK Pittsburgh Sports. Hope you'll join us for that as well.